Alright folks, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm the Evil Wizard Lee. Welcome. I hope you stick around for a little bit. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at the newish or the latest drum library from ML Sound Labs. This is Alreyt. Alreyt, yeah, it's the newest, latest, whatever you want to call it, drum library from Miko over at ML Sound Labs. And from what I've read up, what he said, this is recorded at Finbox Studios over in Helsinki. Now, the main shells of the kit are based on a Gretsch kit, but the kick is a pearl kick, and the cymbals are Zildjian cymbals. So let's dive down into Studio One. Let's take a look at it, see how it sounds, and pop it in a mix. Here we are in Studio One. This is the interface for Alreyt. As you can see, it's a bit of a stripped down version to the original ML drums. So you've just got 3 toms, you've got a rack tom, 2 floor toms, snare, hats, couple of crashes, ride, that's a ride crash, and a china, and then your kick. And on the bottom here you can either have it just manual or humanized. I've left it on the humanized. At the top here, and you see ML drums, and I've got the essentials already, we've seen those. So you just get 3 different kits. You get an unprocessed one, a Miko's mix, and a Dead Zone. The Dead Zone one is based off Blind Channel's Dead Zone, off that drum sound. It was mixed in the same, it was recorded and mixed at the same studio, so that is based off that. So let's have a look at the 3 kits. We'll have a look at the Dead Zone one first. Carrying on along the top, so yep, that's your drums, and then you've got your mixer. So for this version and the Miko mix, I'm just going to leave it as is, but obviously on the unprocessed one I'll dial it in a little bit. So yeah, there's your mixer. So you've got some EQ, how much of each channel you want sending to the overheads and rooms and reverbs, and then compression on the kick, snares and toms, hi-hats, which you want go into the rooms and the overheads, and then you've got panning for all your toms there. If you want to add some more toms, which you can do, I will show you that in a moment. Pannings for your ride and hi-hats. I will just pan the ride over a touch as well. I'm not going to leave the ride down the centre. You don't have the ride in the centre, you have the ride over there. How much of the overhead you want to go into the rooms. There's your reverb with your times, all sorts of saturation at the bottom as well. And then your master, which is like your drum submix or your drum bus. So you've got a little bit of EQ in there, some compression, whether you want the parallel, fully wet, dry, or somewhere in between, etc. etc. So I've got the drum soloed out. All I've got going off on there, yes, this was all recorded through some analog gear, but I am just adding the Summoners A console, because I just like that. It's very subtle, just adds a little bit of extra console emulation and saturation. And on the submix bus, I have just got some tape saturation in there as well, just to try and tame some of the transients of the snares. I have got it going through my usual drum distortion as well. So this is, bring that back up. So this is Dead Zone Grit. And this is Nico's mix. He's panned the ride already, so I'm not going to touch any of Miko's settings. I'm just going to leave them as they are. And this is the unprocessed one. I've not touched anything at the moment. That's as it is. So I've not dialed that in just yet. Even though I think it don't sound too bad, but I think it could just do with some dialing in. So let me just dial this in, and then we'll come back to you. I'm not going to show you all that. Otherwise, it'll just slow the video down a touch. This is how I've dialed it in. Just giving the kick a little boost at 8 dB, a little bit of a cut at 230-ish. So taking it out of the overheads a little bit, and just take a little bit out of the rooms as well, and just added a tiny amount of compression. I've not added any saturation because I've got that with the A console. I've already dialed that in. So on the snares, just taking a little bit out at 500. It's just a little bit honky there, and then just boost a little bit at 170. Same again, just taking it out of the overheads, left it in the room, and we've just sent some of the snare and the toms to the reverb. Just dialed some compression in, same with the toms, just dialed some compression in, just taking a little bit of the toms out at 440 hertz. The hats and the cymbals, and the hats and the rides, didn't do really much with them. They didn't really need much doing. Just take some of that out of the rooms. Same again, we've got that saturation in with the A console, and I've just panned those out 50-50. Overheads, just taking quite a bit out at 500 just to tame the snares down a lot, and taking a lot of the kick out of them overheads as well. Same with the rooms, just taking a bit of that kick out. I'll add a tiny amount of compression in there just to help tame the snares down a little bit. Not touched anything on the reverb. I was happy with that, how that was sounding. Just taking a little bit out at 480, 500 for the submix. Added some compression in there as well, and made it sort of about 3/4 wet. So this is how that sounds. As you can see, I've got no other processing on the actual individual tracks. Or on the books, I've just got the some tape saturation on there, and then the only thing I've got is I've got that submix going to my usual drum distortion, which I've just got the head crusher from Audio Assault and some EQ just to take the top end off the snare. That's my usual chain on there. So before I forget, if you want to add some more bits of kit in and you've got, say, the other packs, all you do is just click that arrow and there you go, you can add them. Same with cymbals. Etc, etc. So before I give you my final thoughts on these, let's see what these sound like in a mix. So there you go, folks. That was a ML Drums Grit. What do I think about these things? Do they get the Wizard seal of approval? Or do they get a finger of doom? Well, yep, they do get the Wizard's seal of approval. I do like these. I mean, I like the original ML drums, and I do use them from time to time. Yeah, I mainly use Ergritone or Yogritone, but every now and again, I do use these. Is there anything I would like to change on it? The only thing I would really change is being able to split the toms up into separate channels, but yeah, I said that on the original one. I do like the fact that when you bring it into separate channels, it does give you the names of the channels, so you don't have to mess about with that, and it automatically does the routing for you. That is a big plus. Yeah, I think all three kits, or all three presets, should I say, sound pretty good, and with a bit of tweaking and maybe say some external EQ and compression, you can get the sound that you want. Let me know what you guys think about these down in the comments, and I will leave a link to the ML Sound Labs website where you can go and take a look at these for yourselves. And if you want to grab yourself some Evil Wizard merch,
there's a link to the merch store in the description.
But that's all from me, folks.
I will catch you in the next one.
Right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. You can follow me on social media, and you can get my music online, and if you want to support the channel, there's Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal links. They're all down in the description. Click up here to subscribe and click the link down there for videos that you may not have seen. Keep it loud and keep it heavy.